are live this beautiful Friday morning, Norwegian time. Maybe it's not morning where you are, but I thought I'm just gonna do a quick video where we do some TA together. The daily TA. It's not gonna be any teaching. We're just gonna find our levels and find our interesting areas where we might want to find some interesting areas to take. Yeah, where we might find some places to take some trades. So let's just start. I'm gonna put back on some music because I want some music while I'm working. So we start off with the monthly high volume nodes. Those are not usually necessary to update every day, but I will still do it. So I will find the visible range volume profile. I'll just look at high volume nodes and they're pretty good in place. I could remove this one a little bit, but I don't because 9,000 thinks we're gonna go to 9,000. Probably not. Weekly again, I just take it to the normal reset. This will not be 100% accurate in but it's give me some center where the high volume nodes. There's many, so I just map up the highest ones. The daily we could do every day. So when it goes for the daily, when we do the reset, we get the price where we are basically in this range, and then I want to move it a little bit back because I want the full daily since basically the bottom of the bear market, because this is high volume nodes where we can go to where we have a lot of volume in this market, in this bull pull. So this is where I put it. This also is pretty much accurate. Take off this one. Previous month doesn't have to be updated because previous month hasn't changed. Just basically something I use to map out is, are we bullish or not, and we are at monthly high. Last month it will be a bullish case if we take out last month high, and I also expect some resistance at last month's high. And then we go to developing week. That one can be updated because I haven't updated it since yesterday. So weekly high, I use the magnet tool, so I just snap it to the weekly high. Oh, Monday high, that was not right. Weekly high is the correct one. So we just snap it to the weekly high. The weekly low hasn't changed. Probably nothing has changed. So this is all we do here. This one hasn't changed, I know, but we can take a quick look at it. Swing low, swing high. It's swing low, swing high on the daily. It hasn't changed much. We had one here. This was a swing low. At this point, we broke this one. So now we're aiming for this one. This is still a strong high. It was a weak high, but it became a strong high once we took out this one. So we expect this one to hold, and we expect this one to be a weak low. Channels, patterns. We are in the top of channel. We have started the upward slope channel as we have here. I haven't made any new patterns on this one. So we expect some resistance at the top of the channel over here at 66, 67. That is where we expect us to go down again. We might have a little bit deviation like we have over here. That might happen, but I don't usually expect us to take out the previous top. So we have some deviation. Maybe we can do a little bit up here and then down, maybe. So yeah, that's 68, possibly. That's a possibility. Okay, that was the channels. Then we're coming to the selling tails. The selling tails, I'm usually picking down the selling tails from Excel charts, but I'm gonna show how we do it in TradingView. It's possible. I'm gonna double check that it's gonna be correct because Excel chart is basically much more correct than TradingView would be. So what we do then, we go to the 30 minutes. and we're looking for wicks, daily wicks at the bottom and the top to find. So we see here we have a buying tail down here. It's not taken out yet. This is from Tuesday, is it? So here we have a selling tail, and what we're basically looking for the selling tails is basically resistance. So we had a resistance here, this first touch, and we had a reaction of 1%, not much. This one didn't give much, and we had some reaction from this top. So we're actually in that top right now. So, but we can just remove this one because it's already taken out. So selling tail, buying tail is basically the same as a single print. It just happens in the top. Couldn't I remove this one? Come on. Who is it? This one, okay. This one, remove. Now we're gonna look. I marked out one. The last one was Thursday, and it was one yesterday. So I'm gonna mark it out. It's actually touched a little bit down. Some say it's taken out, but I'm not really sure. I have a template for this one. So just draw a fib, mark it as buying tail. So basically why I'm using the fib is because before I used the box, and the box I needed I made a box like this, and that would work, and I draw it out. But as we went out in time, we have to draw it and still pull it, because all selling tails can still have effect. So I just use the fib with the extension, and then it will extend itself into the map. So we have the bottom here, and we're gonna mark it out. We're gonna have the full tail, but stop at the old tail, and I'm gonna check the coordinates, and I'm gonna update them according to the Exo charts. So that's gonna be 62 to 612.5. 6 to 612.5 and 6 to 712.5. So this is gonna be the selling tail for Thursday. That's yesterday. We do not have a selling tail today, and when we don't have a selling tail today, we expect we're going down to this selling tail. We're gonna have. It's a long way to go, but that's the expectation if we have a selling tail from previous day, and we do. We have a selling tail up here, and this we have to change the template to the selling tail. And so this is approximately the area we have. I'm gonna double check with Exo charts. That's gonna be 65587.5 and 65837.5. Like this. There's no coffee in the cups today. It's water in the cup, actually. Where I'm living in a serviced apartment in Tjuvholmen in Oslo. So we have a recreational area in the first floor of the building. We have a restaurant. This for the people living in the building. We have a restaurant. We have coffee machines and stuff like that. So I live in the fourth floor. So I basically don't have a coffee machine because we have coffee machines in the recreational area. And I could of course go down and pick up a coffee, but I haven't done so. So I do it on the way out when I'm going out, or maybe when I'm finished here. While you're saying, ask me if I have coffee in my cups, I want to do it right now, but I can't because then you'll be alone for 5 minutes or 4 or 3 or whatever. So now we have the selling tails in the top. So we can close up that one. And what this tells us, we have a strong selling pressure. Yesterday came in at 7 o'clock Thursday. So we expect this to be some resistance, and basically if we find some, we look at the momentum later, but if we find some bearish momentum, we target and try to get, of course we don't take a trade basically just on the selling tail, but we find some reason to enter a trade and we target the selling tail we have, unless we have a single prints, because that will also work as support. And we do have single prints, so we're gonna mark out the single prints right now. And there is the single prints right here, and we see it is here. We're on the 30 minutes. That's where we find the single prints. You can find single prints in 1 minute or 15 minutes, but if it's above 30, it's not a single print anymore. We have a single print over here. This is some we haven't tested this area yet. We just went straight through. So I'm gonna use the single print template. Nothing happened. Selling tail. The single prints. I'm gonna double check again with Excel charts that it's 63962.5 and 64087.5. We have a single print for today, so this is a support for today. If we take the single prints, we expect to fill it all, and it's not a big single print. It's like 639, yes, $200, doesn't really matter, but we expect it to be some kind of support. So we have the single prints, the fibs over here. Yeah, of course, this is single prints. I have to move it down to the single print, put it into the single print category, and this is the selling tail. I will move this also into the selling tail category. There, the single prints are done. Demand supply. What is demand supply? Demand supply is just somewhere where liquidity has been injected and where we expect more liquidity to be injected. The most effective supply and demand happens before single prints, of course, or fair value gap. Fair value gap is single prints basically, but it's higher than 30 minutes. So we want a fair value gap that breaks the structure. So we see we have this is the last bullish candle before the bearish candle that broke the structure. We broke the structure over here. On the daily structure, this is a bigger area. We see we had a drop. We had something trying to push the market up, and then someone decided, nope, we're not going up, we're going down. So we inject even more liquidity to go down, or we sell even more to push us down. We expect those to have still some power left. We see right here it's not that much, but we expect it to be some kind of reaction, and we use this together with other levels for a confluence area. And this has, of course, been an interesting area where we're looking for trades, because basically we had that was this one, not the favorite, the interesting area. It's this one. We had a daily, we had a monthly, we had a weekly, we had a macro equilibrium, we had a naked VWAP. So this is a really important area, and it still is. So, but we have a lot of bullish momentum. We might push through it, but we also might get a reaction from here. This is an area where we're in limbo. Okay, so we have the demand and supply, the daily. This one I wouldn't take it out just right now. So this is also daily, because it's broke structure. This is structure, so this is a daily order block or support and demand. This is basically a support. Supply, sorry, this is a supply. So we're gonna go look to the 4 hour and see if we find some demand and supply in the 4 hour. This was a daily, this was a H4, and basically we told that we have if it's a single print before we go down, also after a single print or fair value gap, and if we have a consolidation, that also forms supply. So or demand, the bottom. So we had a push up, a lot of momentum pushing us up. We tried to go down, and we see that we tried to go down into bearish candle here. We had a further push up and a consolidation. So we know there's a lot of power lying in this bearish candle. This is not actually the bearish candle. Where the power lies is in the bullish candle. But we take the bearish candle because this is where bulls interacted to push the price further, and we think this is going to hold. So kind of like And this was not gonna be a teaching, but for the sake of it, I'm just gonna show you really fast. I'm gonna use the box this time. So we had basically here, we had a push up, broke the structure, had an order block, and a little bit down, and then we went down to the order block and had a push up again, a little bit below, but this order block hold many times, or 1, 2, 3, 4 times this order block held. So we're going to use this as a support once we come to a consolidation area. This is something to think of. If you take a short from this top, this is something to think of. Of course, we might go down, and we went down in time, but if you took a short from this top and you come just right down here, this should be a take profit area at least before we get to this area, because if your stop loss was here, you would be stopped out. So basically just something to think of. We don't have any more 4 hours right now. We haven't broken any structure. We can basically say that, yeah, we broke structure here, so this could be order block. So but I'm not mapping out that locally, but it could be just look at this. So this could basically be an order block right here, because we broke structure, but this is like minor structure over here. Broke structure, went down to the order block. The closing was basically at, I'm going to use the order block tool. So no, this was not the order block template, order block. So basically the closing was at the 45.55. This is where we expect the order block to take effect. So this was a closing and went further up. So this is also order block. I'm not going to use that one. I also use order blocks all the way down to 1 hour, but I'm using my order blocks just as reference in the market week on the daily, because I'm basically a day trader. A scalper would use the order blocks in 1 minute. So I don't. I'm not a scalper, so I don't. So we could use it on a 1 hour, and we could look for order blocks. So if we just remove this or wipe it out, so we could basically make a new order block over here. This would be order block. We have to include the whole move, so that is we have to use this wick down here, because we had a single prints and it basically broke the structure in time. We had another one over here, so but basically this would have to include everything. So like this is over new here, but this is scalpers use this. I don't use this much. So basically that's how we can do it on the lower time frame. But there will be much more order blocks, and you have to follow much more closely for a reaction. This is just basically if you want to come in the trend. If you want to go into the trend, you can use the order blocks. Yeah, for example, here it's a better example because we didn't take it out. This is order block again. Here's order block, had a parallel gap that broke previous structure on 1 hour. We came down to the order block and then we went up. So basically I took a short from here. I did. This was Tuesday. I was stopped out. Of course you can see that, but I had profit. I think it was 1%. No, it was actually 3%. So I had many take profits. So it wasn't a loss. I made money, but I was eventually stopped out. So, but this is basically, I had take profits before we got to this order block, because that's important to map out the order blocks and have a take profit, at least enough to cover your stop loss. Is important when it comes to the order block, because this might be a value turning point. And of course the first order block from the consolidation is important. It's really important. Okay, so we are done with the demand supply. Then we're gonna use for possible swing fail patterns. And basically what we use with the possible swing fail patterns, we put them above what we find as buying and selling tails. So we turn off our buying and selling tails. And this is a possible swing failure pattern. There could be a possible swing failure pattern at this as well, but this one are so close, and this is basically the bottom of the consolidation. So this is where I expect us to find a swing failure pattern. You find many videos in the internet on how to trade swing failure patterns. Quite easy trade, actually. This was I removed this one. Did I remove 2 at the same time? Because I remove indicators. And just remove this. And this one. So we see we have a new one. I used the horizontal array. I used the magnet. I pin it to the top. So this is where I expect to have a post string filler pattern. Use it like this. I put it down plus SFP. My nose is running a little bit. So then we come to the monthlies, and those will not be updated today because we don't have a monthly close, but we're just gonna look at it. We are basically above a monthly. That is bullish. That is quite bullish for the day. Still there is 3 days left of the monthly. So if we don't close in the next day below this monthly, that's a bullish sign. That's a really bullish sign. And then we can take back this monthly as support. If we have a wick and closes below, that might happen. It happened last month and last month before that, and yeah, so that might happen. And that is actually buried, and it's not a nail in the coffin for Bitcoin, and we can expect something lower. We have a flipped monthly here. It gives support many times, so we still have it. But it's been not respected for 4 times. It's basically going out. After this is confirmed, it's going out. Gonna look at a weekly. The weeklies are more accurate when they're hitting. So we have a break of a weekly right here. It's not broken yet because the week isn't over. So, but if the week's over and we break it, we're still gonna keep it, but we're gonna mark it with a 1. So basically, after 4 marks, I'm gonna remove it. Not respected 4 times, I'm gonna remove it. So we have a weekly. We do not have a new weekly. Dailies. Let's see for the dailies. We have a daily over here. We had some good reaction from this daily yesterday. Over here, we have a new daily. Over here, I'm gonna mark it as a daily because I have my colors. I use orange for daily. We have a daily here that was not. It may be respected, but not on the daily. We can of course we can look at the 1 hour and see if we had some reaction on it. And basically it was a daily, and we basically didn't have any reaction on it, so just gonna remove it. We would remove it anyway. Daily, I don't use 2 or 3 or 4 taps. I remove them after 1 tap. It's just the daily is not really a good support. It's not a good support. It's not good resistance. But together with a weekly or monthly, it's good because it's going to give us more accuracy. So because here we had daily, we had a weekly in the area, and we had a monthly. So this is the monthly and the weekly, and they were, yeah, we had some pretty good hits to the weekly, pretty accurate. And then when you hit to the monthly, pretty accurate. And we had a short from there. This short gave us like 2-3%, so it's a good trade. And we had another hit to the monthly, and then we had another hit to the daily. So the daily usually are more accurate. They are more accurate on the first hit. It wasn't that accurate here with a high wick, but we took out on this wick, we took out a naked VWAP, and that was very accurately, and that usually is very accurately. A naked VWAP, we had it in the Discord yesterday. We were talking about the naked VWAP, and someone took a short, and as I said, a naked VWAP, we have some reactions on naked VWAP. They are really good, really accurate, but never expect a short from a VWAP or a long from a VWAP to be a long trade, because it's basically just a scalp. So because people were in the Discord, someone was hoping for this to be the short. I said, you better take some profit because this is probably going to turn. This is just a small turning point from the VWAP, and it was like talk about the sun, because in the next minute it turned right here, zoop, right up. So yeah, this VWAP is taken, so we take it out. We're not using it anymore. Take out the naked VWAP. So we were at the dailies. Where we finished with the dailies? Yeah, we basically were. So we have a daily over here. We haven't. I will still keep it for now, as we are just pinching through. I will use it at possible support. So this is a possible support if we go down. So basically, I'm not expecting it to hold, but if it's gonna hold, if I'm gonna take a trade from here, I would like to use this as a take profit, at least. Naked VWAP, of course, we have to turn off the VWAPs, and we go for the 1 hour, and we look for a place where the price traded above the VWAP did not come back to the VWAP again, because the price goes up and down on the VWAP. So we have a naked VWAP up here. We had one over here. This is what we reacted to yesterday. This was a naked VWAP. It was a little bit bigger here. But here it's not the best VWAP, actually. It's not the best one. Something like this is a really good VWAP. And we had some reaction to it, like pretty accurate, but it wasn't much. But we have a reaction 24th of August, 27. Usually when we have the reaction 3 or 4 days after, it's going to be a better reaction. If you have the reaction the same day or the day after, probably just going to pinch through. It's not gonna give any good accurate reaction. It's the good accurate reaction is going to come when we hit it a long time after, many days after. Then we're going to have a better reaction. When we hit it, if we hit it when we created it, mostly when we created, I expect that we're gonna take the VWAP the following day. I expect to take the following day and below the VWAP. I don't expect it to give any really good reaction. If you have an old VWAP that is like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks old, I'm gonna expect a more better reaction. So basically, but we had a reaction on it. It wasn't much. I'm gonna take off the magnet here. So we had a reaction on it, and we had like 0.5%. You could have had a trade on it. My TP is most of our scalps, and all the VWAPs are scalped. And scalps, I have a TP at 0.3%, so it could be basically a break even, maybe a loss. But do we have any new VWAPs? And we do. We have a new VWAP, naked VWAP over here. So I'm gonna mark it as naked VWAP because it just makes it white and write naked VWAP. And what I expect for this, I expect the following day, I expect us, if we have some bearish momentum, to come down to the naked VWAP, and that is what I expect for today, that we are coming down to test at least the naked VWAP, possibly. But it's Friday. Friday is, it could be a bullish day, depends what is gonna happen during the day. But when we get to Friday, end of the Friday, basically all the retailers are left, and all the institutions are not in the market because it's Friday. They go party because they have a lot more money than us, and they're pulling the money from the market. So basically the retailers are very often bullish during Friday evening and Saturday, and they are bullish on Sunday, and then comes Asia in and ruins all the dreams on Sunday and dumps the market. So it depends. We'll see what's going to happen today. We're going to see at the momentum as well. So we have the naked VWAP over here. Then we're going to look for TPOX, and TPOX we have to use extra charts. There are basically no new TPOX. I think the last one is 62037, and that is correct. I'm going to show you. I use extra chart for this one. So here I have the TPOX 62037. There is no new TPOX in this map, so I don't have anything to mark out. Why? Yeah, okay. So we have a TPOC at 66312, and TPOCs are very accurate. Give a lot of reaction, just like the naked VWAP. If we have them together with something else alone, they're not that effective, but still, it's just a short. It's not the turning point. Naked pointer controls, we have the weeklies. They are marked up already. We're just gonna look for the dailies. We have a naked pointer control, and then we see already that we have TPOC, naked pointer control, in the same area. So this area is an interesting area for the day. It's not a big area. It's not a macro interesting area, but it's interesting for a scalp, this area. And we didn't have a naked VWAP. No, we didn't have that in that area. So naked point control, we're gonna go back to extra charts. We could use this one, but it's not that accurate. So we use the session volume. and we're looking for the previous day point control. The previous day point control is basically here, and we see that it's taken out 64,874. So this is a naked daily point control, or was not, or if it's not taken out, but that's why we're using extra charts, because it's more accurate. It has the price data more accurate. So we're gonna load it in, reload it, because it's not reloaded since yesterday. So we're on the 1 day, and we don't have a naked POC from yesterday. So it's almost the same place. 6500.6, and I'm just trying to move my extra charge to the right screen, and this is 64,858. So a little bit deviation on that one, but it's not a naked POC. We don't have a end POC from yesterday. We don't have a weekly. We will check the weekly on the week's end. Fib fan, what is that? I don't know. It's something Unitrader in my academy or my Discord is doing. I'm not doing it. He mean it's pretty accurate, and yeah, we had the absolute top to the 0 level is drawn from the bottom of the bear market, and we had some good reaction on it. I can see that pretty good reaction. So this just works as confluence together with other things. I'm not using it active. I just keep it because every time he brings it up, oh, why are you not using the fib fan? So I have the fib fan, so I can show him. I'm using normal fibs. So we're gonna look at the high time frame fibs, and the high time frame fibs is not gonna be updated very often. We might update it right now. Let's look at it. So this one is not gonna be updated. Still don't have any reaction to it, and we have a fib from the bottom at 37. There's a golden pocket. We expect it to be hit at some point, but seems unlikely right now. And the fibs we draw it from everywhere. We draw it from bottom to top. What I do, I just marked at the golden pocket. That is the most important, but also we have all the levels, more important levels, 0.5 and 786. So 786 and 0.5 is also important, but I've been using fibs so long, and when I see where the golden pocket is, I automatically know where the other levels are, but these are really important levels. So, and we see that the reaction from this to the top, and we see the reaction to the 0.5. So it's also really important areas. I'm not using them because I'm using it so much, and basically I don't even need a fib because I see it. I see the move. I see the move with my eyes where the fib is, but of course we mark it down to find the interesting areas. So is this an interesting area? Local? Yeah, it is. Interesting area. Very interesting area. So the next one is from this top, and we draw it from every top to the bottom. Basically, we draw it, we pull it out everywhere. Pull your fibs everywhere. So from this bottom to this top, we have the golden pockets. Really good reaction to golden pocket here, and we would say that if we have a reaction from the golden pocket, it should happen between the golden pocket and the 786. If it's losing the 786, it's really bad. That means we're gonna go a lot lower, than we look for other levels. I'm gonna remove this one because this was annoying. So we have a high time frame fib here. Did I move it? No, there. I just want to draw it a little bit longer. So fibs are developing all the time. It's not all the time. This fib from here to here, it won't develop because we already done the swing. So this is gonna be at the same place. But this fib in this pull is gonna be developing as we go. So we had a fib down here. People said, "Oh, you were expecting for a reaction at 55." Yeah, I was expecting. Yeah, but the reaction was happening at 57. Yeah, it was because the fib is developing. So people are talking about things I mentioned 2 weeks ago, and you were looking for some reaction there. Yeah, but that might change. And that's how TA is, simply. And then we have the larger fib from the top to the bottom. Basically, we had a reaction over here. I'm still keeping it because I was expecting another reaction, possibly another reaction. It could happen. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It does happen, but usually it's taken out at the first touch, but yeah. So it looks like it was reacted many places, but it was from this top to this bottom, and the reaction happened here at the golden pocket over here. So local fibs, that is just smaller fibs on the local time frame. I still have the big fib on this one because I'm opening the local more often than I would open the high time frame fibs. So I'll take out the 786 because if you lose that one, it's really bad. So now I will probably do another fib. Possibly from this bottom. I will do it from the consolidation bottom, and I will pull up another fib over here. So this is a good place we can look for a reaction. We can also draw a new fib from this area to this top, but basically it's gonna be almost the same. So I'm just gonna move it. So we can make a alarm for a reaction to this fib. We can just put it a little bit above, and that's normal. I would do that for most interesting areas because I want some reaction when we get back to this area. So also same, we drew it here to the top. It's basically so close, and I see that it's in the 786 for this one. Yeah, so it basically is not important, this fib. So now we have the local fibs. We do have a few other local fibs. I'm gonna do it a little bit more accurate, not that super important. We could draw another fib from this top to this bottom, and yeah, we see from this top to this bottom, we had a reaction from the golden pocket over here. Could have given us a trade and blah blah, maybe 0.8%. So that's a trade for a day trader. It's TP at 0.3, TP at 0.5. Maybe taking out everything at 0.5, so you go break even. You may make it a profit. Maybe I would not have a TP at 0.8. I would probably have a TP at 1%, but so this would probably just be a break even, maybe a slightly win. I don't know, but I didn't take it because this happened, or I did Friday. Yeah, it happened right now actually. So Friday, September. No, was wrong. 11. Sorry, 3 o'clock at night. So I was asleep. So I will remove this one because I haven't had any reaction. I would do another one. I could do another fib over here. So we could expect if we come down from here, we can have a reaction from this one. But I wouldn't take a long from this area because we're so close to support and we have a lot of support above us. I'm not, of course, we could take a scalp long, but I'm not a scalper. I wouldn't take a prolonged long from this area. I wouldn't take a long that I expect to go to 70K. I'm already long from down here. So I wouldn't enter a new long for a day trade right here because I support resistance right above, and longing straight into resistance is stupid. Same as shorting right into support is stupid. So down here we had the support, we had the golden pocket, we had some other we had a what was a monthly level. So shorting down here, stupid. If you're a scalper, it's okay. You can short. You can short from here to here. It's perfect. It's 7%. It's good for a scalper. Of a day trader, shorting into support is really stupid. I will keep this one. Put it in the local fibs. Over here. In here, we're gonna look for interesting areas for the day later. This is an interesting. I'm gonna look at the VWAP. I expect us, if we have some momentum, to come down to the VWAP. I'm not going to mark at the VWAP today because this VWAP is fresh. So I'm expecting if it come down, it's going to take it. So this 63 will be an interesting area. Basically, I won't take any trades from here because I'm already in a long and I'm not longing right into resistance, but it's an interesting area if I take another short from here. So that's why I can add it already. Then I use a rectangle and I use the interesting box. Let's just get back, move, just get back. We can look if we have some more areas in this one. So we look at the monthly, weekly, daily. And we don't have a monthly, weekly, daily in this area. We have one a little bit below. So more confluence will be more important. Just a GP alone is not that interesting. I'm just gonna look at everything. So this is basically how I find developing week, weekly open. Nah, I'm not gonna, it's not that important. Buying selling tail, nothing. Single print, we have a single print here. This is an interesting area. And then we can look actually if we have a golden pocket that's got a little bit higher. It doesn't hit the single prints. But if we have another high today and we print a golden pocket in here, there will be a really interesting golden pocket if it happens inside the single prints or just above, right above or right below. That's gonna be really interesting. So if you have a golden pocket right below the single prints, we expect this as support. We do, but if you have a golden pocket right below, we don't expect that as support anymore, and we expect this to take the golden pocket quite fast. So medium range, local range, nothing more. So this is a golden pocket. This is an interesting area where we're looking for some kind of reaction, putting in the interesting local like this. Close it again. The single prints are of course interesting. We're gonna see if we have something more. We have a weekly. This is a weekly. We have broken it. I'm not gonna use this as an interesting area, but I'm gonna use it as support, possible support. Okay, we don't have anything more. I'm gonna mark out the rest of the stuff. So we're gonna look at the previous day. This is quite easy. It's not that easy, but I'll show. This is the previous day. So we're gonna mark out the previous day. Previous day high, we're gonna use the magnet. And we're gonna tune to previous day high. And this is of course the previous day high. We can expect some reaction at the previous day high. We know that it's just a selling tail at previous day high as well. So it's gonna be an interesting area. Previous day low. We see that previous day low is here. Previous day open. Anyone spots the open? Down here. And skru opp volumet på mikrofonen. Volumet på mikrofonen er ganske høyt egentlig, altså. Så da tror jeg du må prøve å sette opp. Sorry, that was in Norwegian. This is English, but yeah, in the microphone, if you think that the volume is too low, you better set up your speakers because the volume is quite high. I tested it. It's quite high, so it might be something with the speakers. Yeah, that was the previous open. Previous day low, previous day Valier high. We cannot find that right now. And Valier high and Valier low and equilibrium, we don't find POC. So how we find the equilibrium? The equilibrium is just 50%. So we're still gonna use the magnet. Use a fib. From the bottom to the top, I have an on one that I called percentages. So we have the 50%. So that's gonna be the equilibrium. Right at the 50%. That is the EQ, and that is a really strong area for some kind of reaction. And then we are going, I'm gonna remove this one. So the EQ, and now we're gonna find a value high, low, and point control. And then we have to use, again, this one. And I'm gonna use a little bit lower time frame. I'm gonna reset it because it's gonna change. You see, when it's gonna print, I'm gonna show you. If I do like this, the lines very often they will change. Yeah, you see that they changed. I just used on the reset. So this is previous day. Valier high. We have up here. Valier low is below us. And point control is over here. So now we have the previous day. Previous day areas. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Because we have the equilibrium. What did I do wrong? I'm on a daily, right? Yeah, I see right now that it's... No, it's correct. It's correct. Previous day was quite explosive. So yeah, this was all in the previous day. I just looked at it because it looked so much. But yes, this was Thursday. Of course, this was previous day, but the Valier was quite small. So, but this is, yeah, correct. So I'm just gonna check it once again. Valier high, Valier low, and point to control. No. Reset. Point control is up here. Is it lower? And it's gonna change, as you see. It changes. It jumps up and down in different time frames. But why it jumps now in hourly and daily, I don't know. I usually use it on 1 hour, so I'm gonna keep it on the 1 hour. I'm gonna check with ExoCharts because ExoCharts also have these levels. So, and I'm gonna see what's mostly marker settings and previous day. Enable previous day. Previous day point of control is at. I have to open it. Draw it down here. So I can use the open net long, net short. I take out the D-bars, FPS. Previous day value high at 65.5. We're gonna look at ExoCharts, and it 65.5. That is correct. And we're gonna use the point of control is 65 blank. So we're gonna remove it. We're gonna look at 24 minutes. Probably gonna be correct there. 64.8, 68. So yeah, we're gonna use this one. This is the point control we're using for yesterday. TradingView are not accurate for these daily levels. They are not. So I'm basically using ExoCharts to find my accurate levels. But I was using in TradingView right now. But we checked it with ExoCharts to have it correct. So now we have previous day. So previous day is, the date is 26th. Like this, and I'm gonna show you soon. I've already done this one in initial balance high and low. This is basically just the first trading hour of the day. High and lows, daily open I haven't marked out yet. We have a daily open in another level, but we also have it here. And also I'm using the magnet tool, so we swap it to the daily open. So what we are looking for in this one, we are looking for the previous day value or high, and that one is above us, and looking for the value or low, and that is below us. What we are looking for is if the daily open is outside the value area. So if it's outside, we expect that if we have two 30-minute candle below the value area or inside the value area, we expect the whole value area to be filled. So basically, if the daily open was up here, we would expect that we have two 30-minute candles below value area high. There will be an 80% chance that we fill the value area low. So we don't have that today. So it's less expectance that we're gonna go down. We're gonna look at the momentum and see if it is possible to go down today, but it looks pretty bullish to me. So we're gonna start look at the momentum, and we're using the indicator. And what we basically got you doing, we are looking at different time frames. I'm a day trader. I'm not using the weekly or monthly. We can look at it monthly. Looks bullish, bearish, bullish. Money flow is basically coming up, but it's just a big time frame. Like what happens here can happen in many months, 4 or 5 months. Weekly, it's been a little bit bearish for a long time, but right now the weekly looks bullish for the weekly, so that's good. The daily, and what we are doing, I am mapping out the daily to the 1 hour and also the 24 minutes and 12 minutes. And if I find more than 50% bearish, that's my bias will be bearish. If I find more than 50% bullish, my bias would be bullish. So basically the daily is bullish. We are coming out in the money flow. So it's a bullish for the daily. The 4 hour, it's also bullish. So we had a few divergences along here. We had reactions on these divergences. We still have divergences. We might print in another divergence over here. If we have another high over here and the money flow is coming down, we could have on the 4 hour, but still 4 hours is 4 times as for 16 hours is a long time. But it's basically bullish. So the 3 hour, it's the money flow is coming a little bit down on the 3 hour. Momentum is weakening, so that's bearish. Sentiment neutral, bearish, blah blah. The 2 hour is bullish. Money flow coming up, green dot. The 1 hour is also, yeah, money flow, momentum come up. It could print in a bearish divergence over here, but it's basically bullish. So and the 24 minutes, bullish, quite bullish. Still, we see that from the 1 hour to the 24 minute, we could print in some bearish divergences, so we could have a scalp. Okay, low volume again. I'm gonna try to put it up. Wait, volume, is it better? Volume is better now. I would like to put it up in my software, but I use it on my mix board. So now is the volume better? Okay, we'll try this. So 24 minutes is the money flow is coming a little bit down, and we see that we could print in a bearish diversion. 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour and 24 minutes, 12 minutes. Let's see for the 12 minutes. Right off now is bullish. So the bias is basically bullish for the day, but we have some signs that we might have some bearish momentum coming in. So we might get, since the overall higher time frame is bullish, I don't expect us to come down a lot. So, but we have to see how it develops. So basically the bias for today is bullish, basically. Please tell me, someone, is the volume better right now? Yeah, so that is a bullish sentiment for today. We're gonna look at what interesting areas we have. We have some interesting locals. This is a golden pocket. We had it before. I will find it today. This is basically not interesting local areas anymore. 55 is, we're not gonna take 55 today. That's for sure. This one is a little small level. I'm just gonna remove it. We can first look at the interesting, the high interesting, the really higher interesting, and we're gonna see first what we have up there. Weekly, monthly demand, NAPO. This is not changed yet. So this one was really interesting for the macro. So this is still gonna change. We're gonna look for the local, the high time frame fibs. We have another fibs here. It's a high time frame fib over here. We're gonna see if we have it in combination with something else. No, we have the 0.5. We have the weekly. It's at the 786. It's still interesting, but it's not on the golden pocket. So yeah, we have two dailies over here. We're gonna see if we have something else. And we're gonna use it from the monthly and daily. There's a naked VWAP, daily naked VWAP. This starting to be more interesting area. TPOC, we do have a TPOC in there. And this is a local fib, it's the same fib. In the medium range, it's yeah, we haven't looked at the range yet, so we're gonna do that as well. Medium range, it's equilibrium, so it's interesting. It's gonna, this range is gonna develop, so I'm not gonna use this in the interesting box, but I know that it's interesting because we have medium range as well. So this is an interesting area. Local range, nothing. Macro range, no, nothing. So this is an interesting area because we have two dailies, we have naked VWAP, we have a TPOC, everything in here. So this is an interesting area, very interesting area for some kind of reaction. So GP, and we can write down where the GP is from 52,619. 52,619 to, because this will be developed, so 65,800. So this is that, and we have 2x daily, plus we have a TPOC, TPOC, plus we also had a 796. Is it over here or what? I'm gonna move it. Golden pocket, TPOC. That was a TPOC. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what we have in here. This is interesting area for, and we see this is actually really important because it's from this bottom to this top. Golden pocket, this is really interesting. It's 57, between 56 and 57. So we expect this to hold. We're gonna see what the monthly is. The monthly is above us. I expect this one to hold as well. So 59. So I would probably draw it out a little bit. The TPOC in here, because it's a monthly. This is an area I'm interested. I'm not going to take a trade from this area. I'm going to take a trade from this area if you get bullish momentum. I'm not looking for having a limit order in this area. This is the area where my interest is triggered, where I want to follow the market. So that's why I put this up. I widened this box a little bit. I don't want to widen it too much, because if we widen it like $10,000, it doesn't help us, because we have to follow the market for 100 hours. Yeah, so this is now an interesting local. No, it's an interesting high time frame. And we're gonna remove a little bit, and then we're gonna look at the others we have. So we have a weekly here, weekly daily golden pocket. We're gonna look for that one. If it's still there, still a weekly. Macro high time frame fibs, still a golden pocket in here. So it had a reaction, so it's not that interesting anymore if you lose this area. And it's a naked daily point of control. And it's basically not a naked daily point control, so we're gonna move it. It's not that interesting anymore. This area is losing interest, but we had some really good reaction from it. We did. And then we have this area that was the daily, monthly, still there, weekly, still there. Macro, is it still there? Macro range basically is a little bit below, so we're above it, so it's not that interesting anymore. Because we are in the area as well. I'm just gonna remove it. And this one is weekly, monthly demand is still there. Naked daily point control, that may be taken out. But no, it's in there. And we also have the range value high, and that's the range value high is here. So yeah, it's still there. This one hasn't changed, I know, because we haven't been there yet. So this is basically the really interesting areas we have for the macro. That is basically where we're taking spot trades, basically. So there are not that much interesting areas inside value area, and that's good, because basically value area is just a transport zone. So if you get below this value area, we're going to be transported to the other side, and this side we're going to transport to the downside. So it's a transport zone. So inside the value area, I'm not liking to take trades, because it's like basically can go up, can go down. When we get outside, it's bigger chance for a reaction to the top side again. So this is basically then the interesting. We're going to remove everything, macro range, everything. So we have a roadmap for where we want to look for entering spot trades. This is a roadmap where we want to exit spot trades, or at least take profits. So there's no take profit right now, and I expect us to come up to the upper value area. So we're gonna look at the local. First, we're gonna look at the macro range. I changed it yesterday. It's not gonna change much, but the macro range is over here. I'm gonna take the. I have to open it. Yeah, it hasn't changed much. A little bit, so we can draw a little bit down, but it's not basically almost the same place. I have two other ranges now. I have a local, so usually the local is really localized area, but sometimes we may have more ranges. So now we have the local range, and we can see if, yeah, this is basically, it works still, because this is not, it's from yesterday. It's not enough to make a range. So I will still use this range, but this range is basically lost, because we had a breakout from this range. So this is basically lost. The point control is at the same place. Where's Valera low? There, point control is in the same place. The equilibrium has changed. It has. So we have to take the lowest point to the highest point, and the 50% is now changed. And the thing is, when we have the equilibrium, if you're gonna trade this range, we do not on the local. The local is basically for us day traders doing day trades. We do not trade between equilibrium and point control. In a perfect range, the equilibrium and point control would be at the same place. But in this case, it's on different places. So this is a no-go zone. We don't do any trades between equilibrium and point control. Because above point control is short area, below is a long area. But inside here is nothing. It's a no-go zone. We don't do anything because it's limbo. And basically that is where we are right now in the macro. So it's a limbo. So for the spot, we are in limbo. We are below equilibrium and above equilibrium and under point control. So this is limbo. Everything can happen. We can go down, we can go up. I expect this to come up to the point control. So at 68. So that's where I expect. I think we might get higher as well, but we still have the channel in there. Okay. So we're gonna look at more of the locals. What is local interesting? So we're gonna look at the dailies. We have a daily down here. We have a weekly. The monthly, I'm not gonna into the monthly right now because we can deviate a lot around it. And the weekly, it's not any good day trades in this area. Actually, it's not. We have the local fibs. We have a fib here. This is an interesting area for a local area. So this is an interesting area. We're gonna look at the local range, and that is basically above point control. So if we get down there, it's actually not a long area because we don't long in Valeria High. So it's basically just an area where we would take profit, possibly. If we were a scalper, it would be different. Yes, I'm recording, so you can watch it later. So this is still an interesting area, but right now it's just somewhere I would take a profit. So right now what's happening, I'm looking for the interesting locals. I'm gonna look if I find some more interesting locals. I think that I'm gonna stay away from most of the trades before we get to the point control of the macro range. So it's basically, we are in a limbo area. It's not safe to take either shorts or longs right here. So it's basically nothing exciting going on. See if we find something more. Naked VWAP is over here. That means I expect us to come down at least to the 64,476 to take out the VWAP. That's something I expect for the day, but it's not a long trade, but we can basically take a short on it. So that we can do. This is, I do a little bit scalping, a little bit. I'm gonna be honest on that. So look what we have in the top over here. Do we have anything in the top? Anything more? Yeah, we of course have selling tail over here. Buying selling tails, that's here. We are in that selling tail right now. So if we enter a short, we find a short now, we expect this to go down to the naked VWAP. We have to find if we want to take a short. We have a time POC, we have a naked POC. So this is also an interesting area for the short to this naked VWAP. Basically we have a daily here, so this is also support, and this will be a take profit at least. This will be, no, it will not be a single print. It's taken out. It would be a single print if we made the selling tails and then pinched through when it was made. It would be a single print. Local fibs, medium range, local range is there, macro range, nothing. Fib fan is there. This is a fib fan, the top of the fib fan. Yeah, that is an interesting area. It is. Monthly is down here. The naked VWAP is here. So plus SFP is here. Demand supply. Fair value gaps. macro range, previous day, high there, local, yeah. This is an interesting area, and it also comes in at the fib fan around this area. Yeah, so I would look for a possible short, local possible short at 66.3 around this area. I would widen it a little bit, and I will pinch down. It's a naked POC, and it's also plus a TPOC, and it's also fib fan level. So this is a place I would look for a short. And a short, the target for this short would be the naked VWAP for the day, but of course that is the target. So we need to have some TPs as well. So if you take a short position from here, depends where the stop is going to be. We're going to have, this is the target. Target is valid. It's 9.04 risk to reward ratio. Could possibly give us a 2.61% shorts. Is a valid. It's above to RR. I'm basically looking for 3, but it's above, so it's a valid short area. So we have to find TP areas where we could expect us to bounce. And one thing I talked about later, golden pocket is always developing. We have a golden pocket down here, and we took it from this bottom. Yeah, this is the range area. So I will have another golden pocket. GP, fib standard. No, I'm going to use GP. So I'm going to see if we have a short from this area. I would like to know where is this golden pocket. Yeah, the golden pocket is below the naked VWAP, so this is the target. It doesn't affect it. Pull it up from everywhere. So the day started Friday. This is where the day started. This is a golden pocket here, and that will also be an interesting area for a possible long, but still we're not long in this area. But so this will be a TP area. So we have to find places where we can expect a reaction or maybe a turning point, and this have to be TP areas, because if we get to these areas and have returning here, we never have the target, and we don't have any TPS, we're just going to hit the stop loss and we're going to lose money, and we don't want to lose money. So basically we would put in, if we get this short, we put in take profit at this area. If this is a scalp, so in this scalp is 0.29%. I would probably, after about, if the trade is going to be from here, I would basically, after 0.3%, that is 29, so that is like 67,973. So I put like 65,950. I would, you decide, others, some people say I take out too much too fast, but I will take 50% of the trade at 0.3%, because if I hit stop loss, it's a break even. I don't lose any money. So I would just make it a bigger short. So I would, after 0.3%, I would take at 50%, and then we're looking for the next place to take profit. And we're also going to take a golden pocket from here. That was a daily. So the next profit in a scalp will probably be around 1%. So at 1%, I will probably take it just 10%. If I do that, that's of course, if I get to the TP2, I already made money on the first TP. I made money on the second. So yeah, that's where you start to make money. So I would take a 10%. I would take a 10% of the rest of the trade. I'm not going to take a 10% of the total of the trade. So yeah, 1% over here would be at 65.5. There was a TPs, and then we have 2 TPs. There would be another take profit at the golden pocket and the daily, important, and probably another 10%. And then at the monthly, of course, there will be another take profit, maybe just 10%. And at the naked VWAP, I would take out probably 20-30% of the trade. So now that I have taken 10% of the rest of the trade, I've taken basically 50%, so I've taken out 70% off the trade at this point, and I have like 30% left. So if it continue down, I still have 30% left. That could be go over to a swing trade, but basically this is a scalp, so I have to be wise and take profit. So because any of these areas could be a turning point, even if I expect the naked web to be hit. So this is a target. So this is the way we set up target and find the ratio and stuff like that. But important, take profits, because basically if you don't, you're gonna lose in the long run. So this is a possible setup for today. So this is here. We're gonna look again how it looks like on the momentum on the 18 minutes. We're gonna look at the 12 minutes. And the 12 minutes is still really bullish, so but it might change when we get up there. This area where we are right now is also I'm gonna use this fib because it's a possible fib. No, I'm gonna keep it. This rectangle is interesting local, and this one is just create a group setup. So I'm just gonna remove this one. If we were going to look for a short from this area, this is gonna be a scalp again. We have a daily right below us. Is not, we can't really expect 0.4%. It's not a really good area. It's not a really good area because we have a daily from, it's an all daily, so it's not that important anymore. It's been hit 3 or 4 times. It's not that important. I think this is the most important area to look. So yeah, we could take a short from here if we find any good reasons to take a short. So we have to look at the momentum, and we have to look at the lower time frame momentum. This is a valid short area. Previous day single selling tail, so it's a valued place, but it's not. It's basically the momentum is really choppy, really choppy. And there is nothing that's telling me that this is a good area to take a short. So but now the money flow is coming up on the 1 minute. We had basically a small divergence from up here, but the money flow is coming up. So this is not a good area for a short at this moment. We might get it. I'm still gonna look at this as another strategy I'm using. This is Renko strategy. We have it in the academy. We have how we using this strategy. I'm not going into that right now, but no, this is not a good area to take a short. So I expect this to go a little bit higher, but the short might come in. So, but for today, the first interesting area for a short, we know where it is. It's the interesting local. So what I'm doing with the interesting areas, we have the interesting local, and we're gonna turn off the buying selling tails. So this is the 2 interesting levels we have. This is basically just a take profit area, but I'm not having any bigger. I don't have any bigger shorts. I will probably have a small scalp short from here. I don't expect it to go really long down. So what I'm doing, I'm using a line, horizontal line. I put a horizontal line a little bit. I'm not using that. I use an extended line. There it is. And I put the line a little bit before, and I just put an alarm. Put an alert. So now this is the place that is interesting. I know that I want to take a trade from this area. So now I can go away from the chart because I'm not interested to take a trade from this area. And I'm also interested to see if the price goes down over here. So I also put an interesting area over here, and I just group them and rename them alarms. So now I have my alarm set. I have my interesting set. Now I can do something else. I can go out and have a coffee and have a good day. So if the alarm triggers, then I can go to the chart, and then I can start look for a trade. So that was not so quick. It was basically planning to be a quick TA today, but it's not so quick today. It actually took some time. So we've been online for 90 minutes, almost 90 minutes. So this was today's TA, and for the people in my community training academy, you can get the levels. The link, I copy the link. It's the same link as yesterday. It's the same link as every day. So if you already have it, just load it into your TradingView web version, and you can copy my charts and you can get my levels. So you don't have to do all this once again. If you are in my academy, and basically it's only the people that taken the course, and it's a Norwegian course. So basically, if you English, you don't have access. Sorry. All right. Thank you for today. Have a good day, and we'll see maybe in the evening. Maybe we have another. Maybe have another live in the evening, so we can see if we have some interesting developments of the markets. Thank you for following.